I'm going to show you a technique for welding aluminum that you might not have seen yet, or might not even knew you could do it, but you definitely can. And I'm going to show you the method that you see the most common, or pretty much 99.9% of the time. I'm going to show you that first, and then I'm going to show you how to walk the cup on aluminum. Now, walking the cup is a technique as a pipe welder that we always use on stainless steel, carbon steel, copper nickel, Inconel, you name it. We pretty much walk the cup where we could. Now, you can't always walk the cup because sometimes on a U.S. Navy ship it gets, matter of fact, a lot of times it gets very restrictive. But I worked in the shop a lot, and in the shop, man, let me tell you, walking the cup is the way to go. Not just on those metals, but aluminum too. Let me show you how to do it. All right, so here is a plate that I actually welded here a couple weeks ago. I was practicing because I had to weld on my son's pontoon boat where he knocked a hole in it, and I wanted to practice a little bit. I'm just going to take, and we're just going to run another bead right beside this one just to kind of show you the technique that you normally see on videos on YouTube. So anytime you weld aluminum, wherever you start, you want to sit there for a minute and let that preheat. Let that get good to where you got a good glassy puddle, then you can start advancing. Now, this aluminum is not super clean, but it should do okay. It don't matter where I'm starting. I'm just going to start about right here. All right, that ought to be enough just to show you the technique anyway. That's basically all you're doing. You're just starting it. You put a dab, advance forward, put a dab, advance forward, and you just keep working that down like that. But that's how I did the original that you see right here. And that's what I just did. Looks like I'm a little cold. I probably could cut my machine up just a tad more, but that gets the point across anyway. All right, let me go ahead and get another piece set up here, and I'm going to show you how to walk the cup on this aluminum. A couple of weeks ago, I helped my son with a pontoon on a pontoon boat. He actually, I don't know what he hit, he's not even sure, but it knocked a hole in the side of his boat, one of the pontoons. And he bought and purchased some aluminum, and he had it rolled at the right pitch. All we did was just cut out a window and replaced a portion of that. But it's a 24-inch pontoon, and I'll show you the metal here. All right, this is it right here, and as you can see, it's got that curve to it. So I decided this is just scrap stuff that was left over. So what I've done is I took a grinder and I cut a couple of grooves here, and I'm going to start somewhere in here. I'm just going to walk the cup, continuous lay wire, which means I'm feeding the wire constantly. And I'm going to walk the cup on this and show you those results. To me, you get a lot better control with walking the cup because your cup is actually in contact with the metal, and it really steadies you up. You just have a whole lot better control of it. Now, with that said, you cannot do that everywhere. When I worked at the shipyard, we had to freehand a lot of things because once you get restricted into a tight area, you can't walk the cup. But in the pipe shop, everybody walked the cup regardless of what kind of metal it was, and aluminum is no different. All right, so let's fire up on it. That's what we can do. Well, I could keep going, but that's really all I need to show you. Let's get a close-up of this. All right, so there we go. Keep in mind, folks, I haven't welded much in a long time, but I'm just showing you this technique because to me it looks really good. It's nice and shiny. You got really good control over it. That ain't the best tie-in in the world by a long shot, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you weld aluminum, give this method a try. So I decided to go ahead and finish this almost out. I like a little bit, but I was mainly wanting to see if I couldn't get a little bit better tie-in on this one. And as you can see, I did. I didn't go back quite far enough on this one right here, but I am out of practice. Walking the cup is a technique that if you're a welder, you need to learn it because there's a lot of times it'll make your life easier. Now, with that said, there's a lot of times you won't be able to use it. As a pipe welder, I had to learn both. At shop work or anything where you're out in the open, if you got pipe on a tripod or doing fabrication work, walking the cup is the way to go. You got better control over it. It's actually faster. I've heard some people say it's slower. It's not slower, but just teach yourself how to walk the cup. It's kind of like, I know you probably heard this analogy, it's like walking a 55-gallon drum across the ground. Just advancing it as you roll it back and forth. Same thing. Take you a TIG whip and don't even think about welding yet. Get used to walking the cup on a piece of pipe without actually welding. Get used to that. Remember to relax. The lighter you can hold that, the least chance of slipping. If you put that death grip on it and you really bear down and get all tight and tense, you're going to slip. And when you slip actually welding, you're going to know it because it's going to gouge that weld out of there. But just practice with it. Practice makes perfect. The old saying, the more you burn, the more you learn, and that is absolutely correct. Hope y'all got something from this video. Thought I'd throw it out there because I've only found one video on YouTube that even talked about walking a cup on aluminum, so I wanted to get this video out there. I'm Russ Jones with Skill Savvy DIY, and until next time, do it yourself.